Hello everyone, my name is EposVox, and welcome to my review of the Logitech G430 surround gaming headset. This video review is actually going to be recorded before I do my formal written review and have everything fully lined out, because I want to record my process of testing it and get some, some live reaction, in a sense, of some actual impressions of testing the product. So it's going to be slightly less organized than my written reviews, but the written review will be available, and I think it'll be a bit more genuine in terms of actual impressions and review. There will be 3 main categories that I will be reviewing this headset on, and that would be sound quality, build quality, and then minor concerns such as ease of use, software, things like that. For sound quality, I typically run headsets through 3 tests, and then a 4th test for the microphone, and those tests are playing lossless music out of FLAC files through the headset, testing how I feel the quality goes, playing movies, and then doing video games. And since this is a gaming headset, of course the video games will play heavily into it, but what I'm really getting at with this headset specifically is actually the use of the surround sound. Since it is a surround gaming headset, you can enable surround sound with the virtual surround stuff. I want to see how that actually works with that media. So music is most likely going to be catered more towards the stereo functionality, but playing a TV show or a movie or something in 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound, and then playing a game that supports surround sound in surround sound, and testing it. One thing that I can already, I don't want anybody to get at me at, because I already know, that is that the quality of your source file and the functionality of the surround sound in your source file, such as video game or video, will highly impact the quality of the headset. So it's very subjective to judge, but I'm going to do my best to try and give an accurate opinion. And then I'm just going to do a brief mic quality test just to see how it sounds compared to what other microphones I'm used to on gaming headsets. It's a gaming headset, so you're not expecting magic quality or, condenser mic quality, but I like to have a bit, at least clear and non-blasted out chat when I'm talking on voice over IP. So I'm going to get to my sound check first, and then we will move on from there. So when I'm playing video in VLC that is supposed to have Dolby Digital 5.1 audio, it is not really working. It's showing when I have surround enabled on the headset, it's playing it, in kind of a weird echoed format, like most stereo audio does when played with surround sound enabled. So I'm downloading Media Player Classic because in the past for me it's handled surround sound better. I'm going to see how it sounds there. Alright, the file I originally tried was a TV show encoded with 5.1 in MKV format. I'm now trying a movie encoded with also 5.1 but in MP4, just to see if it makes a difference in how the player handles it and plays it back to me. It did sound really good, but there were some kind of minor issues, so I wanted to see if I could get it worked out real quick. Holy crap, that had to have just been the media file, because this sounds amazing. A lot of the issue I've had with my surround sound receiver that I have, which is a 5.1 optical surround sound setup for speakers, is that a lot of things don't really play right and it doesn't sound very good. Like, people don't optimize their surround sound. This sounds amazing. Lord of the Rings in surround sound, it's 5.1 source file, but spread across the 7.1. God, it sounds really good. Like, that is amazing. So I got the media playback worked out, and through the media playback test, it actually sounds really good in the headset. It seems to be, depending on how the source file was created in terms of the surround sound audio, that kind of changes how it sounds and how the virtualizer in Logitech software handles the surround sound channels. But with a properly encoded file, with the proper channel setup, it sounds amazing. Like I said, Lord of the Rings in cinematic surround sound, I'm watching all of my movies that I'm watching by myself in this headset from now on. Next up is going to be my lossless audio music test. Out of the test, this one's actually the hardest for headsets to pass, as playback of lossless audio can still get pretty fuzzy if your headset, if headphones are not good enough. I have used studio quality headphones, I've used gaming headsets. This of course is a gaming headset, but the overall goal of a gaming headset should be to deliver quality, not loudness. And that is actually something that this headset does in a different way that I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But most gaming headsets just go for loudness. Loudness doesn't work with lossless audio. Loudness doesn't allow you to hear the different instruments and things like that. So I'm going to run through a couple lossless audio tests using FLAC files, and we'll see how that sounds as well. As I expected, music, and as I already tested, but music sounds absolutely amazing, especially in lossless format. And you can really hear just how crystal clear FLAC files can be. Another thing that is kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing, again, is the loudness, which I'll touch on in a little bit. Next, I'm going to turn on the surround sound just for a moment to test the music, just to see what it sounds, in case you leave the surround sound on by default, and then you're wanting to listen to music just to see what would happen. Alright, playing music with surround doesn't actually sound as bad as I expected. It just kind of sounds like it's being played through a couple different speakers, which kind of makes sense, but it doesn't sound quite as it's supposed to. My last test is of course a game test using the surround sound audio. This one's going to be a bit more complicated to track down a good game that'll actually do it, but I'm going to do so real quick and just give it a run just to see if the different sounds in the game show up right. Alright, so I'm attempting to find a mission here. We're gonna play Arms Race on Baggage. Again, testing the surround sound out. Like, it certainly sounds like a war zone around me. Oh. Ow. Nope, that actually sounded like it was from behind me. That was pretty cool. Alright. Let's try, see what center channel sounds like. Yeah. Ow. Yeah. That actually sounds pretty cool. The voice chat as always sounds pretty bad, but that was actually pretty good. On to the microphone testing. I'm gonna play you a sample from the G430's microphone, and then a sample from my Turtle Beach X11 headset as a comparison, and then discuss my feelings about it. This is a raw audio sample from the G430's microphone. If I talk too loudly, it clips, but that is to be expected. If I talk at a lower volume, like I might do in voice over IP or while gaming or on Skype, it doesn't clip quite as much. This is an audio sample of the Turtle Beach X11 headset for comparison. The G430's microphone is interesting. Don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's trying to do a good thing in that it feels like it compresses the audio and does a sort of like boom mic effect to make it to where it's gonna really cut through on game chat and things like that. But at the same time, it clips out really, really easily. Like if I hold, here. Even if I put the microphone like way out here, or way down here and talk, it sounds pretty good in the playback right now. But it's totally clipped out in a recording, and that, like, it's really weird. The loop back to me sounds great. It sounds amazing, but actually recording it, meh, not so much. Again, it's a gaming headset microphone. It's not meant to be recorded. It's not meant to be used as, a YouTube microphone or anything like that. But I like seeing higher quality mics, and so gonna get points off for. It clips out, and so it sounds like I'm talking through a walkie-talkie, to be honest. It's really, really weird. The X11 that I use as a sample clips out a tiny bit, and the big issue there is a lot of background noise and static. Like, it picks up everything and then has a electric static hum from the USB power, so in one sense this mic is better, and in another sense it's not. So, kind of hit and miss there, but yeah. Moving on to the build quality. Overall, the build quality of this G430 headset is actually really, really nice. I kind of surveyed some of my friends who've used gaming products to try and figure out, because again, I really want to know why people don't talk about Logitech gaming products more. I really want to get them out there, because they're actually in many cases a bit more affordable than your more mainstream brands that are all about gaming. And one thing someone mentioned was the build quality. It was that, you know, they had a Logitech headset and it fell apart. What I'm thinking they're likely referring to is more just a general chat headset, because this thing is a monster. Like, I don't see how you could ever possibly break this headset other than throwing it across the room, in which case, yeah, any headset's going to break, but it just feels so sturdy. Everything feels really nice and tightly built, and this is actually one of the least flimsiest headsets I have had the pleasure of owning myself. It feels really, really good. Even just the turning of the microphone doesn't feel like it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's really sturdy and really strong. And then you get to other things like the cloth for the cushion and the cloth for the ear pads, and then the cloth braided cable. It all feels really high quality, and the braided cable just does it for me. This cloth cable that just bends and flows however it wants and isn't gonna crease up or anything, that is just absolutely amazing. So build quality wise, this thing is a boss. Some overall side thoughts about the G430 that I wanted to add in, and just some minor concerns. But first of all, with the Logitech gaming software, which I use for my G13 and my G510 keyboard, you know, my webcam uses Logitech software. With the Logitech gaming software, all you do is plug in your headset and it detects it. You're good to go. It'll install a driver real quick, pop it up in the software, you turn on the surround sound on or off, and then in this screen I'm going to show you what I have configured for the surround sound. It's kind of interesting configuring the surround sound, because with an actual surround sound setup, or at least for me, because I like actually experiencing the surround sound, so I like hearing the back speakers, I turn them up. And I may turn down the front or turn up the center, something like that. In this, I kind of do the opposite. Since it's all right there on your ear, in order to actually make it feel like it's in the back, I think I went down 3 steps. So like, back is down, and then up 1 for the side here, and then up 1 for the side here, and then, you know, I scale it up. And it's just kind of interesting configuring that. But it works great with the software, automatically detects. A's in my book for that. Comfort-wise, the headset is actually very, very comfortable. The cushion on the sides are actually some of the most comfortable cushions I've ever used for a headphone ever. That pretty amazing experience when I'm used to getting headaches from headsets. Doesn't squeeze my head like I was complaining about. Only minor issue is that actually with the cushion on top, I'm still not used to the weight on top, and so it's really weird feeling that. Doesn't give me headaches like the PX22s do, but still weird to get used to. Now, I have a slight minor concern as far as the volume level goes, which I never thought I would have with the gaming headset, but it's a little weird in that sense. Here, let me pull up the adapter real quick for, oh, it's plugged in. You can see in the B-roll in the adapter that, you know, it's an analog headset by start, and then you use a USB adapter for it, and then, you know, it uses the software to digitize and virtualize the surround sound, but you could use it as an analog headset. So it's an analog headset, so it's not actually getting any power, you know, it's not getting an extreme of power from the USB port like the ends of the, like here's my PX11 end. It has the USB port, the headphone, and the microphone. The USB plugs power directly into the cable and amplifies the signal and provides a constant stream of power. And that doesn't necessarily apply in the G430 because the USB is just in between the analog and the computer. And so while it may pick up some extra ohms and be slightly amplified than if you just plugged it in the analog port, it's not quite powered. So it's not as loud as I would expect. In a sense, this is a good thing. You're not getting, as I complained about with the Turtle Beach headsets, you're not getting weird interference from the USB port. And a lot of headsets you can really turn way too far up, and you can cause some ear damage, and you know, it's just too loud. And especially if you turn it up for something and then something else is really loud and you don't have that problem here. And in the most of the time, there's a volume level not quite at maximum that actually feels pretty comfortable for me. But there are some cases where I'm just kind of really confused as to why it won't go louder, and that would be the analog conversion, I would think. I'm not the engineer of this product, but I would assume that's where that problem, you know, it's not even a problem, but that where that would be caused. Other than that, that's really all I have to give about the headset. It sounds incredible overall. There's some issues setting up surround sound, and that honestly is totally up to the source footage, the source input you're going to use, which is going to apply with any surround sound product. And that's the unfortunate part. But from what I can tell from, using what I can as a surround sound experience, when you have the right source media, it's actually a very, very enjoyable experience. Mic quality could be better, but it's a gaming headset. I don't honestly think any gaming headset developer really cares that much about mic quality. And frankly, like I said, the way, what I consider to be a bad thing about the mic quality is actually a good thing in a sense of, if you're chatting over top of a noisy game, your voice is going to come across. It may not be the highest quality, but it's going to come across, and that's often an issue with headsets. So again, it's kind of a, depending on what you want to get from it, situation. It's comfortable, feels durable, and very, very easy to set up and use. Well worth it in my opinion. My favorite headset thus far. I challenge anybody to send me a headset that's gonna beat this one at this point. I was skeptical at first. I don't trust virtual surround sound. I don't trust surround sound gaming headsets, as I've not had a huge good luck record with them in the past, but this one's gonna get some heavy use. So hope you enjoyed the review, guys. I'm sorry this is quite a bit longer than my usual reviews, but I really wanted to put this to the test and be, just as honest about my opinion as possible in it. Written review, formal written review, as well as product links will be in the description below, along with the unboxing if you want to see what's actually included in the package. And otherwise, I will see you all later. Huge thanks to Logitech for making this video happen, and bye-bye.